Now, one thing we can try finding, see if it exists, is a subspeed value. Now, in the same way that we would find a subpixel value, we can also check to see the speed value to see if it has any unusual variations, where one speed is added every, X frames or so, and we can check for that. Let us first try to walk. Mario, I would expect him to reach some sort of maximum walking speed, 19, 20. So that's what that looks like. And then there's a 21 in there. So let's take a look. So where's the 21? So it goes to 21, 20, 19, 20, 19, 21. So about every 4 frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every 5 frames. Okay. Now, as we saw before with the previous subpixels, I'm expecting that value to be increasing and increasing in value, and then once it has the carryover, once it goes over the byte max value, it will be a much lower value. So we are going to find 21. Okay, so here I'm going to search, and then once it gets to 21, I'm expecting it to be less than. Oops. Okay, there it goes. So we have some values here, pretty small list actually. Now let us see if we can see anything that looks like it behaves in like a subpixel value where it's jumping around in fairly large jumps. These low values, and also usually subpixels are not odd, so I'm just gonna remove those. It's unlikely. Okay. There's another one. Oh, there was one. No, 2 odds. So I'm going to remove those because usually subpixels move around in powers of 2. Okay, so I'm going to do my usual failback, and we're going to start freezing some of these values. And actually, we're just going to freeze all of these and see if it's in here. Poke it as 0. Now, remember, if it's 0, and if it's added to his existing speed, it won't accumulate, basically. So it will always bounce between 19 and 20. I'm not expecting it to be 21 if it's in there. Oh, I didn't freeze it. Okay. Poke 0, freeze. Actually, it looks like his X and Y subpixel were in there. I do not want these two. I'm looking for the subpixel speed, not his actual subpixels. So let me remove those. These are these top here. Let me unfreeze them and remove them. So now we have 2, but let me unfreeze them and just kind of start again here. Okay, so there's the 21, and it is a low value. Both of them are 0, as I would expect, or a low value, not necessarily 0, but okay, so 19, 20, 19, 20, 19, 20, 19. Okay, so it's one of those because he's not getting that extra 1 speed. So I'm going to unfreeze this address and let us see if he starts. Yeah, 21. X speed 21. So 7A is Mario's X subspeed. So if we were to try to find Mario's subspeed for his Y, what we might be able to do is try and find a spot when Mario's Y speed is at or very near a constant. So what we can do is we can test when he's falling, because if he's jumping, as we saw before, the game will be adding a downward force. So that's constantly decreasing, so it'll make it much more difficult to search for if we're trying to look in there. So I loaded up the branch for when he starts falling, and we're going to be looking at Mario's Y speed. And it looks like 70 is the max until he reaches the floor. So let's go back when it is 70. Okay. And I would expect it to be 71 or maybe 69, but I don't see any variation. So the game may not have a Y subspeed component, or maybe it's at such a low increment that we're just not seeing it. So it could be that if it's a much higher level, maybe when he falls for a very long time, we could see a slight variation. Or, the game just may not have it. Or may not have it for that type of movement. Maybe there's some other Y movement for Mario where it would have it. But for now, we cannot find it.